Hey guys, let's do the Leetcode 876, which is middle of the linked list. And what this problem is saying is that given a non-empty singly linked list with head node head, return a middle node of linked list. And if there are two middle nodes return the second middle node. And he gives you some examples like 1 2 3 4 5, and obviously 3 is the middle node, and then you have 1 2 3 4 5 6, and according to what he said here, if you have two middle nodes you return the second. So in this case you return the pointer to the object having the value 4. So and there are some other nodes here which may or may not be directly um, be considered for solving this problem at this point. So let's try to see how we're going to do it. So what approach can we use here? So we will do this in C, which is the darling of the embedded developers. And so let's chase our darling in this case, which is the C language. So what is the approach? How do we get the middle? Now, intuitively, if you think about it, it seems very easy that you basically get the middle element. But how do you get the middle element? You basically walk the whole list, and if you have, let's say, 11, the number of elements is 11, you divide by 11 by 2, you do the integer division, which is 5, and you again walk the list and you return the fifth element. That's one way to do it. Other way to do is, what if we use this approach? Suppose we have two pointers, and so let's start by defining some pointers here. So suppose we have two pointers, and let us say that the approach that we will do is the first pointer will here let's write some comment. This pointer that moves twice as fast as the slow pointer. So now some of the checks here could be that, hey, if the head is null, we don't need to do anything, we just return null. We have nothing to walk, and then we start initializing the slow. Both of them start by pointing to the head of the list, and then we have, now let's see how it works. So now when in the beginning, let's take the example 1, slow and fast both are pointing at 1. Fast moves by 2. So next iteration, in the first iteration inside while, we see that the fastest will end up pointing to 3 and slow will end up pointing to 2. Very good. Now the fast will point to 5 and slow will point to 3. Now we can't go any further because fast next would be a null pointer, so we cannot do a fast next or anything like that. So we need to have two checks, which is while fast and fast next. What we should do is, let's have the fast going twice as fast, meaning it basically goes like this, and slow going just in one step. It takes one step in the time in which fast takes 2 steps. So now when this happened, now imagine what would happen. We would run off the cliff here because fast is pointing at 5. So fast next is actually null, so we won't even go inside the while loop. So we'll come out, and whatever is the, we can say return slow, and that should take care of it. If it is a list like this, in this case what would happen is this. Let's say fast is slow, both are here. Now slow goes to 2, actually fast goes to 3, slow goes to 2, fast goes to 5, slow goes to 3. Now fast will try to go to, fast cannot go further anymore because you see that fast next is null. So I think before I confuse you further, let's take again. So slow is pointing 1, fast is pointing at 1 before we go inside this while loop. Now fast will point to 3 and slow would point to 2. Very good. Next time around, fast will point to 5 and slow would point to 3. Now fast is pointing at 5 and fast next is 6, and fast next is null. So in this case, since fast next is, both are there, see, fast is there and the fast next is there, which is 6, but fast next is there, which is 6. So either your fast next is, so in the previous case we saw that the fast was pointing to the last element and we didn't even go inside because fast next was null. In this case what is happening is the fast itself is null, because if you do if you go inside that, because fast and fast next both are there, so now fast next is, so fast will be null now, right? So next time around it won't even go there. So fast will be null, but what would have happened to slow? So slow would have been pointing at 4, right? So then we return slow. So now let's see if that basically works. And there you go. So that basically works. Now another test case was where we have the odd number of elements, and see if that works. And that's working as well. And now let's do a submit and see if that all the test cases that Leetcode has for this problem are passing and everything is looking good. So there you have it. Return the middle element of a linked list using two-pointer approach. There could be another approaches, and if you know any of them, please feel free to write them in comments. I would really appreciate it. Until then, I wish you all the best for your coding journey and hope you have very good success in your interview problems. Adios, bye bye, see you next time.